Now that I've been practicing gratitude in my life for a couple of months or so by now, I can confirm that the benefits of this act are as good as they say. The thing is, gratitude is like MSG. You already have this delicious food called the good things in your life. The act of being grateful for the good things in your life is like adding a little bit of MSG into the food's flavoring. MSG doesn't taste like much by itself, but it intensifies the flavors that were already present in the food, making your food even tastier. And why wouldn't I want to make the good things in life better? It wasn't all that easy getting to this point, though. I really had to push myself to deconstruct the very definition of gratitude, figure out where it fits in my life, and work around the obstacles that don't allow me to feel it sometimes. And while I can say my life is slowly becoming richer because of these efforts, there's still something that's not quite sitting well with me. In today's overly connected world, it's now easier than ever to be made aware of the suffering of others, and this awareness can raise some real existential questions in terms of what we perceive as good and bad in our own lives compared to what others may have to go through. This was supposed to be the part of the video where I show like news clips of humanitarian disasters, atrocities being committed, marginalized and underserved groups of people being treated like dog. But then I remembered, oh yeah, I hate it when videos do that. I don't think I need to remind people on the internet that there's this thing called human suffering. Point is, it's basically impossible to go through life without being made aware of the hardships that others have to go through, whether they are sitting right next to you or they're halfway across the world. A common message I hear when it comes to watching others endure pain that you don't have to is, be grateful you're not in their shoes. I guess I find myself torn in two directions. One, I find it really important to bring gratefulness to the things that I have that so many other people may not, like just basic stuff like a roof over my head, food, the privileges I have in life, but also using human suffering as a means to achieve a feeling of gratefulness doesn't really sit well with me. It also doesn't bring a lot of good emotional closure to me as somebody who is a highly sensitive person when I see all this human suffering happening to others. This feeling actually made me want to stop this gratitude practice altogether at times. I didn't like this image I was creating in my head. Here I am sitting in this cozy little bubble I created for myself, romanticizing my life, focusing on all the good, when right outside of this bubble is a world of injustice and atrocity that I'm just ignoring. That just doesn't seem right. But I decided to try to lean into that feeling and try to embrace a potentially more complex and nuanced approach to those feelings. And guess what? It's duality. The answer to most nuanced, complicated things in life, at least for me at least, is always duality. It's always duality. Like in the last video when I was coming to grips with the good and the bad in my own life and where gratefulness fits in, even when it feels like the bad is dominating my life, it's just all about practicing acceptance of this idea that there's good stuff over here, there's bad stuff over here, it's all happening at the same time, and that will happen until I die. But I think I'm gonna need to do a lot of work to fully accept this duality when it comes to lives outside of my own. It's gonna require an even deeper understanding of the facets in life that I can be grateful for in the first place. But maybe, at the risk of sounding like a toxic optimist, gratitude can be something that helps make the world a better place. Sorry, it's never easy for me saying things that sound that overly positive or optimistic, especially when they're as cliched as that. If your eyes are rolling into the back of your sockets, please just hear me out. Just hear me out. It's easy to compare my material world to the material world of others. In my gratitude journaling, stuff came up a lot. But I mean it genuinely when I feel gratefulness towards stuff like my TV, game consoles, retro camera equipment, computer. Many of these things I haven't been able to really afford until recently with our current income, which is something that I also take the time to appreciate. Our apartment's location, living in a city that I love, eating good food, all are things that I've managed to feel gratitude towards pretty constantly. But focusing my gratitude efforts on all of this stuff doesn't always sit well for me when I'm comparing my material world to the material world of others, or sitting with the fact that many of my privileges afford me the things in life that others don't, just simply because of their identities, or that my comfortable income that I'm also very grateful for is mostly just going to making the billionaires more billionaire. I don't know, at that point it's enough for this stuff to kind of kill the whole gratefulness vibe. So this may sound like an overly simple way to address what are arguably some of the biggest humanitarian issues we face in this day, but I truly believe my practice of gratefulness is one of the ways I can see myself being part of the solution. The thing is, when I'm grateful for things, I want less. When I want less, I consume less. I want to reap every bit of joy and meaning out of everything in my life. When I consume less, I put less money into the pockets of billionaires whose lives and impact on our world are typically fueled by greed. When I consume less, or the more I can buy secondhand, I save more money, and I have more money to invest in products from ethical or local businesses. And not to mention, when gratefulness promotes appreciation for what's already in front of you, this kills greed. By stunting the growth of greed inside me, I am preventing myself from becoming the very people destroying our Earth. And if all this sounds overly simple to you, if you can't hear these things without your brain spiraling into a million moral hypotheticals, you're not alone. Because not even I'm in a place where these ideas feel like they're all the way enough. While I do still believe that feeling grateful for stuff is both powerful and important, I have also challenged myself to seek feelings of gratitude outside of materialism. In many ways, it's through nature that I've felt the most profound sense of gratitude in my life recently. Yet this feeling is the hardest to put into words. Unlike everything else, nature isn't something that happened to me specifically. I didn't do anything to deserve this in my life. I have no direct source to thank for this other than nature, hell, the universe itself. But just in the moments I have taken to intentionally appreciate the natural world around me, I just feel complete. Because when you take away all the stuff, except my clothes, I need those out here. Being outside, breathing the air, seeing all of this life just naturally occurring in this space, there's no room in my head to desire more than this. This is all humans had for thousands of years. Contemporary living has evolved faster than us. We haven't outgrown our need for connection to the natural world. It's a connection human cultures have felt towards the natural world long before capitalism was invented. And through my practice of gratitude, this connection has become something I've grown all the more grateful for. Of course, it feels amazing to be out here continuing to foster my deeper sense of gratitude within myself, but I'm beginning to realize that there is a key component of this that I have been kind of neglecting: expressing gratitude outward. Yes, gratitude has led me to perceive my life in a new way and has given me a richer love for all that I have in life, but has anybody benefited from this expression of gratitude other than myself? Like I said in the last video, one of the deepest things I appreciate about where I am in life right now is the people in it. Friends and family always make it onto my gratitude lists. Everything I've learned about gratitude points to how important it is that people in my life know this. Hence, the power of the gratitude letter. This shouldn't feel that radical. Just taking some time to write some gratitude letters, not a gratitude email, not a gratitude text, not a gratitude Instagram post, actual letters that I'm going to put in the actual envelope in the actual mail to send off as physical tokens as my appreciation towards some people in my life. I'm actually a little bit concerned that this is going to come off weird to the people who will be receiving these letters because obviously who sends letters anymore, especially like this, but you know what? I get to hide behind the excuse of doing a YouTube challenge, and doing weird things always makes things less weird when you're doing a YouTube challenge. So here we go. Now that I've spent a little bit of time writing the letters, it's not something where I feel completely euphoric. If anything, I feel a little bit exhausted, just trying to put those words of gratitude into words because of the effort that it took to really kind of do this retrospect of my gratitude and my relationships with these people, because it's not as easy as just feeling it in the moment. This has made it all the more apparent as to why I need to bring this gratitude into the moment with them. Bringing attention to the moment, what is it that is making me feel grateful for them? I love the idea of the power of gratitude letters, absolutely. My high school yearbook is, very similar to that of just a bunch of gratitude letters from a bunch of really important people, or other similar things that I've received from other organizations. Just being able to have that in writing as a physical artifact is amazing. But this step especially made me realize the importance of just continually bringing it to attention in the moment as well, because sometimes it's easier to word in the moment than try to come up with the words later on, kind of thinking back on all of it. It's easier to express gratitude the moment you're feeling it than try to remember what it was specifically you were grateful for. One of the things the gratefulness practices I looked up encouraged was being a lot more mindful when saying thank you in more casual passing encounters, between me and a coffee shop worker, for example. Really genuinely expressing appreciation for all their hard work they're putting into making this delicious coffee. To me, I think this is more encouraged just to prevent the act of saying thanks in such a mundane, unconscious way that it loses its meaning. I don't really think it's my thing to be overtly descriptive of my gratitude towards these workers. For me, the exchange of words hasn't so much changed in the ordering and receiving of goods and services, but I've tried to bring out my genuine excitement and joy, something like ordering a cup of coffee brings me in the moment. Maybe this is the film director in me, but I've changed my delivery from thanks to thank you so much, implying more what this coffee means to me less in words, but more in just genuine tone of voice. As I worked to bring more effort into expressing gratitude towards people, it all came down to just one last person I needed to express gratitude towards: myself. So what does being grateful towards myself mean? What does expressing this gratitude towards myself mean? I don't know. Why choose to be grateful to myself? I guess it's easier to describe with kind of this thought I had throughout all of this, that I want my actions in my life to be determined by not so much what's going to make me feel the most productive right now, what's going to make me feel the most accomplished or the happiest right now. But what is future me going to be grateful for that past me has done? There, I think back on many decisions that I made in my life, many moves, many things that I quit doing, many things that I pursued, that I would just not be doing the things that are important to me today had I not done those things. And of course, besides my actions, there are just many traits that I have that guide my actions that I'm super, super grateful for. I'm grateful that even if I'm not always great at looking outward and making sense of the world, that I am very good at looking inward and making sense of myself. I think that has helped me feel better as a person, made me a better person to other people in my life. I'm grateful for having discovered this ability to exercise intention within myself, exercise more control in my life than I knew that I had the ability to. I am really, really grateful for my creativity, for my ability to approach creative projects in a way that, is more like, rather than how do I make this really good, but like, how do I make this unique? How do I, find what is a different angle that I haven't seen before, that maybe others haven't seen before, and I can chase that. All this not to say that, I'm grateful for every part of myself. I'm not like grateful for every action that I've taken in life, but like, no, stop. Like that's no, this is not the time. This is just, just be grateful. Just be grateful. You don't have to do this right now. And maybe that's it. Like maybe that's like kind of the, importance of drawing attention to my gratitude in a moment like this when I can, because there have been plenty of moments, especially recently, where I haven't felt very good about myself. And it's like, yeah, all that's going to happen. I'm never going to stop those feelings from happening in the moment. But like, why do I never bring to attention the things that I am grateful for within myself? Like I can say I've had more intensely emotional feelings where, I don't like a part of myself. Like, that's really easy to come out when it's, when you're in the heat of something. But I just, if those moments can happen, why can't I take a moment to feel grateful about the good things that I am, the things that I do feel good about myself? And I guess this is that moment for me, and I better start doing this a little more often. Like I said in the beginning, gratitude has helped bring a deeper overall sense of life satisfaction, something that a sustained practice of could bring my entire life. But now that I've pushed myself to feel and express this gratitude in every corner of my life, I've discovered a new and probably the most important way gratitude impacts my life and the world. When you're grateful for something, you want to take care of it. You want this continued appreciation for it. It seems like a lot of the reasons to fight for the things that matter to us in life can be led by negative emotions, or actions only take place when negative emotions are involved. Like a lot of sustainability efforts are led by fear of destroying the planet we live on, or the maintenance of relationships only comes about when a relationship is in danger of being damaged. And no doubt, fear and other negative emotions are important things to feel and explore to protect that which we care about, but I really think actions that originate out of an expression of gratitude have been missing in my life. As I cultivate this deeper gratitude for my things, the planet, my relationships, and myself, I won't just be using these emotions to get more out of their benefits. I want these emotions to guide my actions in my entire life to make sure that I'm creating a positive output in the world. Bad things are always going to happen to me. Bad things are always going to happen to other people. I have limited control in these bad things. Even my positive actions, which I do have control over, at times will unlikely outweigh all of the bad that is happening around me. But if my gratitude can guide me in taking as many of those positive actions as I can at least feel confident that my gratitude isn't what's causing me to grow ignorant of the issues that need addressing. Considering everything that I've learned about gratitude from within myself and from other people, it seems the positive effects on one's life seem to be pretty much the same, but I really do believe that there are major differences in how we all get there. I'm not convinced that everyone can just write a gratitude letter and immediately feel its effects, which is why I want to leave you with this, something I wish I heard a long time ago. Don't let anyone tell you when to be grateful. Don't let anyone tell you what to be grateful for. The effects of gratitude are a lot more powerful when you can find out for yourself. Thank you so much for watching.